Hey guys, so Apple will soon be releasing iOS 17.4. The next major update will be coming to the iPhone here in just a couple of days. But as per usual, I like to compare the current update, iOS 17.3.1 in this case, running on this iPhone here on the left, 17.3.1, versus 17.4, the upcoming update here in just a couple of days. Now, this is the RC, which is the release candidate. This software update should be available to you guys here in just a couple of days, perhaps maybe even less than 48 hours after the filming of this video. But I'd like to take a look at some of the bugs, some of the performance, the battery, and some of the tests here before the official release to see how things are going with the new updates. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Okay, so I want to start off with a Wi-Fi test. You may remember some iPhone users continue to report poor Wi-Fi connection, although on my personal device, I believe Wi-Fi issues have been resolved. The Wi-Fi connection is more persistent, more solid. But let's take a look at some of the performance numbers. Again, 17.3.1 on the left here and 17.4. So we'll do 17.3.1 first, and then we'll do 17.4. Now, the network here in the studio is capable of about 400 megabytes download speeds. And when it comes to upload speeds, I believe is up to 30. So let's see what those numbers look like here running iOS 17.3.1. And it looks like we're approaching 200, maybe even more than that. So 217 on the download side. And when it comes to uploads, we're approaching 11 or 12 here when it comes to upload. Now, keep in mind, we're capable of about 30 on this network. So that's not even half yet, but it looks like 11.8 is the final number on 17.3.1. So those are the numbers running 17.3.1. Keep that in mind. Now we're going to go ahead and run those numbers here on 17.4. So let's see what those numbers look like here. And again, the network is capable of about 400 down and 30 up. So let's see what those numbers look like here. So in terms of download speeds, it looks like we're about 150, 160, approaching quickly to 200 here. Hopefully we'll get 200, 218, 220 on the download side for iOS 17.4. And when it comes to upload speeds, we're about 11.5, 11.6. So the numbers look pretty similar on both updates. So there it is. iOS 17.4 here on the right, slightly better numbers in terms of download speeds, but in terms of upload speeds, slightly better numbers on 17.3.1. But those numbers are not major differences here. So it looks like in terms of Wi-Fi performance, they're pretty identical, although 17.4 performs slightly better, not by much. But there you guys have it. In terms of reliability with the Wi-Fi connection on my personal iPhone, I have to say that iOS 17.4 is definitely performing better. The connection is solid and more stable, more persistent. So just keep that in mind. So now I want to jump into raw performance, right? So we have CPU test here running Geekbench 6 on both of these devices, 17.3.1 on the left, 17.4 on the right here. And I did run the CPU test. So let's go into the history here and take a look at those numbers. So in terms of single core scores, so 2,886 versus 2,876. So it looks like 17.3.1 outperforms 17.4 on a single core performance. Now the multi-core performance, 7,156 versus 7,041, so about 100 points difference. So the numbers are not major differences here, but 17.3.1 definitely outperformed 17.4 when it comes to raw CPU performance, as you just saw. Now there's been a few issues and bugs that I've come across on the RC, and I took a screenshot of this. Number one is widgets sometimes disappear from the home screen, and I've also noticed that some icons in some cases will also disappear from the home screen, just like widgets. I'm not sure what's happening there. Definitely a bug that I wanted to make you guys aware of. In terms of performance though, overall performance when it comes to navigating the operating system, everything else is just buttery smooth aside from that bug that I just mentioned. Everything is running as intended with iOS 17.3.1 and of course 17.4. So now let's talk about the battery. So in terms of battery, we've been testing about 48 hours on both of these devices side by side, running the same task, same brightness, same options enabled here. And let's take a look at some of these numbers provided by the software here. Now, as we take a look at the graph here, we see that the graph looks really similar. So you can see there, we drained the iPhones completely. We've tested about 48 hours and the numbers are consistent. It looks like the battery, You see right there, screen on time. We have running the Apple Music, Safari, watching YouTube videos and things like that, doing performance tests and things like that. So 18 hours and 47 minutes, 18 hours and 27 minutes on 17.4. So in terms of battery, I've noticed that the battery is slightly better on iOS 17.3.1. Now that's not to say the battery is not good on 17.4, but based on our tests over 48 hours of testing, it looks like we're getting anywhere from 10 to 15 to 20 minutes of extra on-screen time running 17.3.1 in terms of battery. Now I can't complain in regards to battery. On my personal device, things are looking pretty good, but just so you know, about 48 hours of testing, it looks like the battery is slightly better on 17.3.1. And that about brings it into this video. This is the type of information that I like to share with you guys right before a major update. Again, iOS 17.4 will most likely become available within the next week or so. I'm thinking March 4th, so within about 24 hours of filming this video, but we'll have to wait and see. Make sure to stay tuned here to the channel. Thank you for watching. Make sure to click that like button if you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.